Hey everybody, Dallas again with Chaos Fragrances. Today we're back with another fragrance review. This time we're going to be checking out a new fragrance from Mont Blanc. This one is called Explorer. So I'm sure you've seen this one talked about on the Facebook groups and on YouTube already. This one is one that's getting compared a lot to Creed Aventus. So I'm going to go ahead and review this one, tell you how it smells, how it performs, how it compares to Aventus. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's go and get started. One thing I noticed when I first spray this one on every time is I get a lot of alcohol in the opening. It takes a few seconds for that to dissipate, usually right away in the opening. What I get more than anything is a blast of a strong alcohol smell. After that starts to settle down, some bergamot starts to come in, mixing with a lot of ambroxan. There's a little bit of woodiness as well, and you do get that Aventus feel pretty much right off the bat. What this is missing is that signature pineapple from Aventus. There's no pineapple in this, at least not to my nose. Instead of that, I'm getting more of a bergamot, woody ambroxan mixture. It's really no surprise to me that this fragrance is ambroxan heavy because that has been the trend here lately. A lot of fragrances have been using that note, and they've been using it very prominently as well. Not really just in the background, but it's being pushed to the forefront of a lot of fragrances. And in Aventus, there is quite a bit of ambergris or ambroxan, but it's more in the base. You get a lot more musks, woods, and some citrus over top of that in Aventus. However, in Explorer, they've taken that ambroxan or that ambergris note and they've brought it to the front. And to me, that kind of puts this fragrance into the same vibe as Sauvage and Carbon and so on and so forth. Those fragrances with that heavy note of ambroxan. It does smell nice though, and I do get the comparison to Aventus. Personally, for me, I don't think it is a full-on clone of Aventus. It just doesn't smell close enough to my nose. I do get a similar vibe to Aventus. For me personally, I don't think it's a clone of it. It just goes in a little bit more of a different direction. If I were to smell both of these blindly, I would easily be able to pick out which one is Explorer and which one is Aventus. To me, they just aren't that close. Working into the dry down, I start to pick up on some patchouli in this scent, which gives it like an earthy green smell, mixing in with some more vetiver and a little bit of clary sage. There's pink pepper listed in this fragrance as well. I don't really pick up on that too much. I do get a little bit of a spicy kick though as well, but I think that's mostly coming from the ambroxan, the patchouli, and some of the woods that this fragrance has. So this is actually the 60 ml bottle. I just got the 100 ml bottles in stock over on my website for $45 for a brand new 100 ml bottles. So if you've been looking to pick this one up at a good price, definitely go check it out on my website. I'll have a link down below. Also, speaking of my website, I'm excited to announce that I've recently added over 600 new fragrances to the website. So yeah, I'm not messing around. I've added over 600 new products, all fragrances, designer and niche. I've added a ton of Creeds, Bond No. 9s, Killians, MFKs, got some Manceras, and then all the designer brands as well. So Dior, Chanel, Carolina Herrera, Mont Blanc, Valentino, the list goes on. Pretty much all the main designer brands and pretty much all of the main niche brands I have on the website. Like I said, over 600 new products. Definitely go check it out, and I'm not stopping there. I'm going to be adding even more than that, so make sure you keep checking the website here over the next couple weeks as I'm still adding new product to it. So again, chaosfragrances.com, I got a ton of new stuff there. There's stuff for everyone. Really fast shipping. People have been getting their stuff in about 2 or 3 days. When you go to the website, you can sign up to my mailing list from the pop-up box that comes up on the screen. You enter your email there, you'll get 5% off your first order. So that's just a little something extra for you if you want to check out the website for the first time. Again, I'm competing with a lot of the main discounters here in terms of pricing, so I'm really trying to get it close to give you guys the best deal possible. So again, chaosfragrances.com, I got this scent and many others there for really good prices. Touching on a little bit more of the dry down of this scent before we move on to the next thing, I do get a little bit of a leathery touch as well in the dry down. And one thing I've noticed personally from this scent in the dry down is it gets to be a little bit more dry smelling. So in the opening, it is pretty vibrant and it is a little bit juicy from the bergamot pop that it has. But after that starts to wear away, I get this dry, woody type of smell, and it really doesn't smell like Aventus at all. So again, maybe it's just me, but I really don't think that this is an Aventus clone. I mean, it does kind of get in that same genre, but I think what they're trying to do here is just about like what every other brand has been doing. Take a fragrance with the main note of ambroxan, push it out there and make something mass pleasing, and I think that's what this is. The opening does resemble Aventus a little bit. Again, it's missing that pineapple blast that Aventus is known for, but there is something in there that gets close to it. But as time goes on, it just kind of goes in a different direction. And in my opinion, it gets worse in the dry down. I really don't like it that much. Like I said, it's kind of dry. It's kind of scratchy smelling. It's definitely not something that I prefer. So if you're looking for something that gets close to a Aventus, I think your best bet is, almost dropped it. I think your best bet is either going with a Aventus or going with some of the other well-known clones out there if you so choose to do that. In my opinion, I would just say to go ahead and skip this one, to be honest. At least for me personally, I'm not the biggest fan. With that being said, though, if you do like ambroxan-focused fragrances and you want something that smells like that with a little bit of an Aventus twist on it, definitely worth checking this one out. And again, at the price I have it for, it's up to you whether or not you want to blind buy it, but you may be disappointed with it like I personally am. So when can you wear this scent? It's a very versatile fragrance. You can wear it for pretty much all year round for just about any occasion. Really versatile in that regard. Evenings out, dates, wearing it during the day for really about anything. Works great for all of that. If I had to choose which seasons it works best for, probably spring and summer, because it is kind of bright, citrusy, a little bit woody. In my opinion, it does work better for the warmer weather. But like I mentioned, it's versatile enough that you can wear it year round. Performance on this is okay as well. Longevity, I get about 6 to 7 hours on my skin, which is all right. It's not the best. Doesn't come close to Aventus, but again, the scent doesn't also come that close to Aventus either. So really, the comparison there doesn't really matter. Projection-wise, it pushes out a little bit, but does start to become a skin scent after a couple hours or so. So definitely not the strongest in the performance category. Again, it gets the job done. It is a Mont Blanc scent. You are getting it for around $40-50 for a 100 ml. So at this point, it's about what you would expect with this type of scent. The quality of this is okay. Like I mentioned in the opening, I get that strong alcohol smell every single time I spray it without fail. That's really kind of disappointing because typically the opening, that's something that you want to really enjoy and smell. And it's kind of ruined a little bit for me when I get that strong alcohol blast every single time that lasts for probably 30 seconds to a minute each time. That's something that isn't really that pleasant. For the most part, though, it's not awful. It doesn't smell like a bargain bin $20 scent, but it doesn't really smell like a high-end designer fragrance either. It's just okay. Compliment factor on this one will be pretty solid. Again, it is an ambroxan-based scent with a little bit of an Aventus twist, so it's going to do well. When my girlfriend checked this one out, she really liked it a lot, and I actually hadn't told her what this smells like ahead of time. I just said, hey, check this one out, tell me what you think. Pretty much right away she pointed out that it is similar to Aventus. So again, just to get someone else's opinion on it, she thinks it's similar to Aventus in the opening, so she did really like it there. And the dry down, though, like I mentioned, kind of gets farther away from that Aventus type of smell. So if you're looking for something that's going to be good with compliments, this is going to be it. But there are a lot of other great fragrances out there that are going to do the same thing. A lot of the other ambroxan-based scents out there that I think are probably better than this one. You could pick those up and do good in the compliment department as well. So I already touched on price, but just to touch on it again, you can get 100 ml bottles for like $45 on my website. I'm not really sure the prices on other websites yet. I haven't checked. I saw some on eBay going for like $60 for a 100 ml. The prices are kind of everywhere. A lot of people were paying retail for this scent back when it first came out. Definitely not worth that price at all. If you are wanting to pick this one up, definitely make sure you go somewhere where it's discounted, because I don't think it's worth that retail price at all. But like I mentioned, if you are into this type of scent, it is worth checking out. For most people, this is going to be really good. It's going to get the job done. For me, though, personally, Aventus is one of my favorite scents, and because of that, I hold fragrances that are similar to Aventus to really high standards, and to me, this one just doesn't really match up. It does smell nice, but it doesn't get really that close to Aventus, at least in my opinion. So for me, I'm not going to be calling it a clone of Aventus. So that pretty much wraps up my review on this scent. Like I said, it is worth checking out if you're into that type of thing, but if you're looking for, something that gets really close to Aventus, I would go look elsewhere. I don't think this one does that. Some people are going to argue that it is very close to Aventus, and everyone's opinion is different. Those people could be saying that maybe they don't have that much experience with Aventus. I've been wearing this stuff for a long time. I have multiple bottles, multiple different batches, and to me, this just doesn't cut it. So that's pretty much it for this review. If you've tried this one, let me know what you think of it down below. Also, don't forget to check it out on my website if you're interested. And also, while you're there, go ahead and browse through everything else. Again, like I said, got over 600 new products on the website. There's tons of stuff you can look through, and all at really good prices, all at really fast shipping. Definitely worth checking out. So don't forget to leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a night post. And that's it for me, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.